3 horror stories that will make your blood chill. 1. The Woman in the Mirror. The Woman in the Mirror. In the dim corner of an old antique shop sat a dusty, forgotten mirror. No one ever seemed to want it. Rumor had it that the mirror dated back to the 1800s, and its original owner had been found mysteriously dead in front of it. Over the years, it had passed from hand to hand until one day, a young woman purchased it as a decorative piece. At first, everything seemed normal, but as the nights went by, strange things began to happen. When she was alone in her room, she sometimes noticed an unfamiliar silhouette in the reflection just for a split second, just out of the corner of her eye. She told herself it was just exhaustion. But over time, she began to realize something truly disturbing. Her reflection was no longer moving in sync with her. It blinked slower, turned its head at an odd angle, and worst of all, it sometimes smiled. Even when she wasn't, the longer she spent in front of the mirror, the more she began to hear whispers, low murmurs in a language she didn't recognize. Then, one night, as she stared at the reflection, it locked eyes with her and refused to blink. She tried to back away, but the door to her room wouldn't budge. Hours passed. The reflection in the mirror slowly inched closer, not in real life, but within the glass itself. It was as if it were trying to push through to her side. She wanted to scream, but no sound came out. The figure in the mirror tilted its head, lips moving silently, forming words she couldn't hear. And then the surface of the mirror began to ripple like water, to pale, ghostly hands pressed against the inside of the glass. The last thing the woman remembered was those freezing hands wrapping around her wrists and pulling her forward. By morning, she was gone. The only thing left in front of the mirror was an empty chair. But if you looked closely at the glass, you could still see a faint, eerie smile staring back at you. 2. Whispers in the Shadows. Whispers in the Shadows. Jake had to travel to a remote town to sell his grandmother's old countryside house. The house had been abandoned for years, and there were plenty of eerie rumors surrounding it. People claimed strange things happened there, whispers in the night, doors closing on their own, and shadowy figures lurking in dark corners. But Jake never believed in such nonsense. When he arrived, the house was covered in dust. The wooden floor creaked with every step. After spending hours cleaning, he collapsed onto the couch as the sun began to set. That's when he noticed something. A shadow moved in the hallway. Probably just the light playing tricks on me, he muttered, shaking it off. But as the night wore on, things got weirder. Faint, scratching sounds came from the attic. Dark shapes flickered in the mirror near the fireplace. At first, he blamed his exhaustion, but the disturbances only grew stronger. Finally, he grabbed a flashlight and decided to check the attic. His heartbeat quickened as he climbed the creaky wooden stairs. When he pushed the attic door open, he found a room filled with dusty, untouched furniture. But the most disturbing thing was the writing on the wall scribbled in black charcoal. "You forgot me." Jake stumbled backward, panic surging through his chest. As he turned to flee, he saw a tall, shadowy figure standing right behind him. It took a step closer. His flashlight flickered, then went out. The last sound That night was a single, blood-curdling scream echoing through the attic. 3. The reflection room. The reflection room. Some houses are haunted by ghosts, some by memories. But what if a house is haunted by you? The move, 32-year-old Elliot Marsh, a reclusive photographer, moves into a run-down Victorian house in the countryside, inherited from a distant uncle. He's looking for peace and silence after a mental breakdown and recent divorce. From the moment he enters the house, things feel off. Every mirror is covered with black cloth. In the will, a note is left: do not uncover the mirrors, especially the one in the attic. Of course, Elliot does. The mirror in the attic. In the dusty attic, he finds a tall, antique mirror, Gothic frame, cracked edges, but when he looks into it, his reflection doesn't move. It stares back at him. It smiles. He doesn't. He blinks. The mirror is normal again. But he starts hearing whispers, faint and unintelligible, every time he passes a mirror, even the one still covered. He decides to start photographing the mirror. What he captures horrifies him. In each photo, his reflection gets closer to the lens, and its eyes are completely black. The rules bend. Elliot starts to lose time. He wakes up in rooms he doesn't remember entering. He sees himself walking past open doors in the reflection of the windows, but when he turns, there's nothing there. He boards up all mirrors, breaks the attic mirror. But every time he destroys one, it reappears the next morning, clean, waiting. He even tries burning one. It screams. The diary. He finds a hidden diary behind a loose brick in the basement. It belonged to his uncle. Diary entry. The reflection chooses who it wants to be. The more you look, the more it becomes you. It feeds on your identity until there's nothing left of the real you. Elliot starts to see cracks in his own memories. He doesn't remember his ex-wife's face. His photographs are all blurred except the reflections. The switch. One night, Elliot sees himself in the attic mirror. Waving. He isn't waving. His reflection places its hand on the glass. A sound like suction, glass straining. Elliot tries to run, but finds himself rooted. Cold hands grip his arms. The lights go out. Screams echo through the house. When the lights return, Elliot is gone. But his reflection is still there, and it moves on its own. New owner. Weeks later, the house is listed again. A young couple moves in. The mirrors are covered. The husband uncovers the one in the attic, and inside it he sees Elliot smiling. Behind him,